Welcome to the channel. If your first time joining, if you return, thank you for coming back. Boy, have I got some content for you. But before we jump off into it, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button and share and all that good stuff like that. These people are crazy. I know a lot of people that come across this channel and they think I'm crazy, but these people, oof, they just think they're the law. So yeah, we're just gonna jump off into it. I can show you better than I can tell you. Once upon a time, there was a young man who found himself in a world of trouble, and he was really confused. And he came across an old man who was considered to be a drug addict. And this old man had a lot of wisdom, and he used to talk to this young man and give him knowledge every day. And he told him one of the things that this young man took from him. He's like, listen, you got a long road ahead of you. You're going to prison probably for a long time, but that doesn't mean your life is over. But what I want you to do is take heed to everything and remember everything that you learned from this experience. All the fighting you did in the courtroom, he was like, make sure that you get everything on record, no matter what. Make sure that you get everything on record. Remember that? And he was like, yes, sir. And every day this young man would go talk to the old man, and he would just give him wisdom, drop jewels on him, tell him to do his research. He said, don't believe these guys back here. Don't trust anybody. He was like, stay to yourself and read and research. These people are going to lie to you. Your attorneys are going to lie to you. Always make sure you double check and fact check everything that they say to you. Okay? He was like, I've been through it. I've been there. He was like, I'm old enough to be your grandfather. And the young man, he's seen that. And he said, now I might not be around for you to realize, you know, the things that I'm telling you now might not make any sense. But later on, when you do realize it, you're going to laugh. You're probably going to cry. But in the end, you're going to smile, and it's all going to make sense. And he was like, before I go, remember to always believe in yourself. Don't doubt yourself. You're going to make mistakes. That's all right. That's what you learn from. You learn from your mistakes. And you always got to be strong through this. And remember, always get it on record. If it didn't happen, if you don't get it on record, it never happened. That's how these people play. Okay? Even if you're right, if you don't get it on record, it never happened. You remember that? The young man said, yes, sir. And before the old man left, he told him, he said, I'm just doing for you I wish somebody would have did for me when I was your age, young man. Now go be strong and go get him. One last thing before we jump off into this. Don't you find it kind of funny that with all these lawsuits against these entities, state, county, and 2 cities, and none of it's on the news? Just like that incident with Lovejoy, and that the chief was choking out that one guy. It was all on the news, right? And then it mysteriously disappeared. I know they paid them folks off. They paid them off, gave them some hush money, probably gave them a couple racks, and that shit just went away. You know what I mean? Now, how come none of this is on the news? Anytime a lawsuit is filed in any major police department or anything like that, it's all on the news. Nothing. You ain't hear people about this stuff. That should tell you something right there. So let's jump off into it. We're going to try to run through this as quickly as possible. So first you want to do is log on to Peach Court if you want to view this stuff. That's the case number right there. We're going to scroll on down. So in this case, which I came across and seen, was there's an attorney representing them now. It wasn't before. This happened recently. So when I looked at this attorney is the Georgia Assistant Attorney General. So that's the attorney for the state, right? Scroll back on over here, and they recently just filed a brief Georgia Department of Administrative Services motion to dismiss. But this attorney slick, he doesn't put that in there, and yeah, so you can't view it, which he's real smart on that one. But then they put in an order for the plaintiff to respond to it within a certain amount of time. You click on there and view that. So what I want to focus on is this blatant disregard for the law. So if we go on over to this case over here dealing with the state, this case number right there, and you click on this this amended complaint right there, it's going to pop up. We're going to go straight to the document that we're going to view. So this document right here, this is something that you would get back from the state. If you were suing a state entity, you'll send an anti-litem notice off, send an anti-litem notice off to the entity that you're suing and the Department of Administrative Services, right? And they send you a letter like this. So in this letter, let's go ahead and zoom in on that. In this letter, the person who sent it pretty much lied. It said, please be advised, the Department of Administrative Services, DOAS, does not provide insurance coverage for the County Solicitor General at this time and would suggest you follow up the Henry County Solicitor General's office to address the claims outlined in your correspondence, right? And this is all in regards to the pending case. So I went and looked it up, and yes, the Henry County Solicitor Office is a state entity. And let's look at what the law says. So the law says this is dealing with the Department of Administrative Services. That's the code right there for the Georgia code. Examination of records, facility investigations, confidential nature, documents, information furnished. So before you file suit, you have to send a notice. It says no person or any form of corporation can begin a tort claim, bring any action against the state upon which claim without first giving notice. You could do it within 12 months from the date of loss that was discovered, right? And let's scroll on down here. The Department of Administrative Services shall have the authority to examine copies of records of any state government entity to facilitate the investigation of the claim. So in this letter, they're saying that they don't investigate it, or they don't deal with that. That's a lie. That's a blatant lie. So I went and looked a little bit deeper. So obstruction of public administration and related offenses, right? False statements in writing, right? So any person who knowingly, willfully falsifies, conceals, covered by trick, scheme, device, material facts, makes false or fictitious or fraudulent statement or representation, or makes use of false writing or document, knowingly contain any false or fictitious or fraudulent statement or entry in a matter of jurisdiction of department, agencies of state government, or government of any county, city, or other political subdivision of this state shall be convicted thereof and be punished for a fine and no more than $1,000. So I looked a little bit deeper into that. That's the code right there. So we went a little bit deeper. So this is a felony. This is the code right here, right? That's going a little bit deeper into it. And it's talking about pretty much the same thing. Making material false or fraudulent statements or representation because they lied. Any person violates this subsection will be guilty of a felony. The big F, buddy. Big felony, right? It can face up to 10 years. Or fine not exceeding $10,000 or both. Right? So I looked a little bit deeper. So we're going to go to the Code of Ethics for state. So any state employee, they have a Code of Ethics right after the abide by. So, oral statement made by any employees in their official capacity, meaning when they're at work, as a state employee shall be made with employees believed to be honest and truthful manner. Right? Any employee who witnesses evidence and misconduct shall report it immediately to the ethics officer of their agency. The ethics officer shall report this conduct that violates the Code of Ethics to the Governor, Executive Council, or the Office of Inspector General. Right? Now, when it comes down to attorneys, being that, let's go on back over here, being that this attorney right here is a state attorney, and if this is presented to the court through motions or something like that, or it's brought to the court's attention, they have to act on it. That's per their Code of Ethics. They have to. This is signed by the governor of the state of Georgia, right? And this is a part of their, and then also this, here we go, this is it. Relevant Georgia professional conduct. This is dealing with lawyers. Make a false statement or material fact of the tribunal. This is where it gets golden right here. Fail to disclose material fact to a tribunal when disclosure is necessary to avoid assisting criminal or fraudulent act by the client. So if they're representing the Department of Administrative Service and they know that they made a false statement on the government document, and that is a felony, and they assist them or try to cover it up, they can get in trouble too. And a maximum penalty for that is disbarment. So if they don't report it, that attorney will lose their license. I wonder how that's going to play out. And furthermore, let's look a little bit deeper. Fairness in opposing parties, falsifying evidence, right? Paying off witnesses and stuff like that. Well, we know that happens all the time. You got to be able to prove that type of stuff. And here we go. Misconduct. It shall be the violation of Georgia rules of conduct for a lawyer to violate, knowingly attempt to violate the Georgia rules of professional conduct, knowingly assist and induce another to alter to do so through the acts of another, be convicted of a felony. So, here we go. Engaged in professional conduct involving dishonesty, fraud, or deceit or misrepresentation. So, with that said, I said, you know what? Let's look a little bit deeper, right? So I said, wait a minute. I think didn't they do that over there in Lovejoy? I said, didn't they do that over there with that case? Right? So I went on over there, and I said, attorney representing them in that case. And I went on to just check everything. Oh, what's this? This is recent. 2 more employees quit because the summons got issued, and it was going to go to the proper venue or court that they can be served in. And 2 more employees quit, but it doesn't show which ones. You see, just think about it. I don't wonder if it's going to show up in about a week or so, because they like playing games down there at that courthouse. So let's go on over and look up that case. So you can click right on here and you can pull this up. Right. So the request was made for the body camera footage. Right. Plaintiff in that case went to go get it. They said they didn't have any. No body camera dash cam footage available. Right? That is a lie, because then later on they produced it. So they lied too. And because this code right here said, let's get back to that. It says, in a manner of which jurisdiction of state or government of any county or city. They're in trouble, buddy. They just committed some felonies, dog. Alright, now, that's a lot. And check this out. Where's all the Karens at? What do they call guy Karens? I don't know what they call them, but those guy Karens too. This is where you guys come in. Now, since this is public record, you could take this information to your local prosecutor's office and present this to them and say, hey, look, this is a crime. This is a felony, and it's right here, and it's public record, right? And you can show it to them, and they can go investigate it. And yeah, I tell you what, and there will be a reward, a big one, not only from the prosecutor's office. I don't know what they're gonna give you, but definitely from the plaintiff. I can guarantee that. Fat reward, couple $1,000, maybe 10, 20, 30. $1,000. If you really go digging and looking into that case, you will see the money that's sitting on the table with these civil suits. Now, with that presented to you, I know a lot of people are going to be like, from the prior things that's been presented. How can I put this? I have to tread carefully. There's a lot of things going on in the background, right? And everything can't be brought to the light on here. Let's just say that. And a lot of people are rooting for old undercover granny and old egg donor over there, the would-be felon. She's gonna get convicted soon enough. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you like this. This is a lot. This is a whole lot. And it's not fair. It's not fair. And these people play dirty, and they will lie, cheat, and steal, and do all type of stuff to avoid the truth getting out there, right? I'm not perfect, and nobody out there in the world is, right? But we still have rights, and the people violate them all the time. And if you don't know your rights, and if you don't understand the law, if you don't understand these things, then they're going to do it and keep getting away with it. They need to be held accountable. Now, me, as an individual, I have paid my debt to society, right? And what's the crazy part about it is, a lot of times that I've been incarcerated, it was illegally. And after doing due research and due diligence, I'm like, oh man, they just did whatever they wanted to. A lot of times these, even your friends and family members, they get, in situations and stuff like that. They may be right or wrong, but there's certain things and steps that these courts have to take in order to convict a person. They have to have probable cause and stuff like that. These people don't care. Because most of the people out there that find themselves in that particular situation don't understand the law. So they don't even know what's happening to them. First thing they do is look for the best plea. Or start telling, and these officers and these agencies, they don't have to do their job anymore. They got social media, right? All they gotta do is be creeps and go on your social media pages and just watch you do something stupid. They won't snatch. I'm telling you, I know from experience. I've seen it happen. They'll sit up there and watch you do all your posts, and they gotta follow you around because you post everything every freaking day, right? Yeah, all you worry about is what you're doing, what you got going on, this, that, and the third, and then they'll wait for you to slip up. And they'll get you and your friends, and you'll get to tell them. They'll catch you with some stuff you ain't supposed to have, and then everybody just start telling on each other. Now, going back to these individuals, they've never been in trouble. Just look at the jobs they hold, and they'll have to, in this particular situation, they're gonna have to hold each other accountable, because when this stuff is brought in light into the courtrooms, and they're all employees of the state, and they have a code of ethics, and they're committing felonies on paper, and it's right there. And it's being shown. It's public record now. You can't hide it. It's not hidden. It's right there for you. You know what I'm saying? So now, let's go back to what that old man said. If it's not, if it's never put on record, it never happened. It definitely happened, buddy. Definitely happened. So now the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit back and idly just watch and laugh and just take this for entertainment? Or are you going to take action and step up? Matter of fact, just if you don't believe anything that I'm saying or anything that's being presented to you, look into it. Go try. Just say, hey, look, go down to your local courthouse, on your day off or whatever, you know what I mean? Just say, hey, look, I want to speak to the prosecutor, and I want to do this, that, and third. I have some things that you brought to attention with some employees that are committing crimes, and I have evidence. I'll see how they handle that. With that said, man, hopefully I'm here to catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching to the end. I'm out.
That ceiling that you'll never